Easy game for Ian Happ in left field, and I got to tell you, a lot more good happened than bad, including this leadoff home run. Back-to-back games for Happ at the leadoff spot, hitting a home run, putting the Cubs up 1-0. But it was a windy day at Wrigley. It was a hot day at Wrigley. The umpires had to take a break. The pitcher for the Mariners at one point gets taken out. And one of the other crazy things is that because of the wind, because of the sun, there was a lot of, let's say, mistakes in the outfield by both Ian Happ and Pete Crow Armstrong. We're going to touch on both of them, but I want to just first of all specify, I am not an Ian Happ hater. I love Ian Happ. I love what he's done for the Cubs. He's been the most consistent player because he's just been with the Cubs for so long now, and he ends up passing Chris Bryant in this game on home run leaders for the Cubs all time. So there's a lot to love about Ian Happ, but this is a play that cannot happen, and it's happened at least 3 times for him this year in left field. Second and third, second inning, nobody out. Luke Raley, fly ball to left field, in the air for a long time. Ian Happ just watches it fall in front of him. Not only that, lets it go by him, gets by him, and then the first run for the Mariners scores. Now, Ian Happ lets up on this. He does not keep on hustling. He lets up. He slows down. We're going to get to whether Dansby called him off or not here in a second. But just again, I want to make sure we're fair on this. PCA, a play before, loses it in the sun, loses it in the wind. Then in the third inning, 1 inning later, Cubs up 6-1. This is a routine fly ball to center field, and I'm just going to be honest with you. Pete Crow Armstrong needs to catch that ball. He absolutely needs to catch that ball. You got Rodriguez on the other end, who's a great center fielder, who doesn't play at Wrigley Field, and he made every play in center field today. And Pete Crow Armstrong loses that one in the sun. So there is no excuse in my eyes. However, physical errors are going to happen. Mental errors, on the other hand, not communicating, thinking the other guy's got it, letting up a little bit because you say, oh, I thought that ball was going to be a little more shallower, play before. Deeper. Loses it in the sun, loses it in the wind. With just it's not the same thing. Lead. Ian Happ never loses this in the sun, never loses it in the wind. If you watch this again, here we go. He's got a track on it, he's got a beat on it, and he just slows up. He never blocks his face. He never says, oh, shoot, that wind sure was crazy. Never says that. Again, not an Ian Happ hater, but we have to point this out. Why? Because this has continued to happen again and again and again this year, and I'm not exaggerating. Why? How am I not exaggerating? Well, let's just go back, first of all, to the San Diego Padres game in mid-April. Cubs were up 3-1 in the 6th. Here comes the Bermuda Triangle. Ian Happ looking at Dansby, looking at Matt Shaw, drops in front of him. Easy play. Should have been an out. Cubs going to lose that game 10-4. They were up 3-1. They were up 3-1. They lose that game 10-4, and it was mainly because of that play. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. It was mainly because of that play. Then you had just a little more than a week later, with a scoreless game, 4th inning, Ben Brown pitching, and Ian Happ once again just kind of looking at John Birdie now and saying, oh, you got that ball, right? Okay, this is supposed to be a Gold Glove left fielder. For those of you that don't know and aren't aware, you probably are. If you're watching this, you probably are aware. The left fielder, anytime that a infielder converges with an outfielder, the outfielder always has the right of way. They are supposed to call off the infielder. Now let's go to social media because apparently I'm not on the same page as a lot of you. All right, so let's go to Twitter. I'd say it's like a 70-30 split. 30% are pretty much on the same page with me, and 70% are pretty much calling me out. So Nick, for example, here, so many terrible reads this year. Tim, funny. You're funny. Haha. Andrew with the LOL. We'll get to this. Hugo later on in the game is this passive. Delete this. James Plunkett. Nice profile photo, dude. Then you got this guy. Look at the wind, idiot. This is not a wind play. He's not affected by the wind. He's affected by the footsteps of Dansby Swanson. Morel season 5 here. It's because Dansby goes a little far out than he should be going all the time. And here's my point. Like this is the point, guys. Happ has priority. He needs to be calling for the ball. This is not an excuse. This is absolutely Happ's ball. He should be going for it. And for that reason, I just don't buy into this excuse. I buy in that Happ is dealing with this excuse. I buy in that Happ also at the end of the day is probably saying I should be calling Dansby off, but I don't buy into this being an excuse for a Major League Baseball player. Morgan, yeah, his 3 consecutive Gold Gloves frustrate me when we're in first place by 5.5 in late June. First of all, 4.5. Second of all, his 3 consecutive Gold Gloves, I don't care. I don't care. And here's why. Because the Gold Glove Award is a joke. First of all, let's just look at the scoreboard. Ian Happ, 2 outs above average in 2022 when he won his first Gold Glove, deserving. That's great for a left fielder. 2023, -7, still won a Gold Glove. That's not based on performance. It's based on a popularity contest. It's based on, oh, he won it, so let's give it to him again. 2024, a little bit better at -2, but still won a Gold Glove in a -2 outs above average. That's not good. So let's do a different comparison on this Gold Glove Award. Dansby Swanson, 2024, 18 outs above average. Francisco Lindor, 16 outs above average. Who wins the Gold Glove at shortstop? Mason Wynn at 3 outs above average. The Gold Glove Award is an absolute joke, folks. Back to Twitter. Uma, Happ haters are so corny. Not a Happ hater. Actually, I'm going to give him a lot of flowers here the rest of the game. Chicago Sports Addict, Happ is definitely losing it at the plate and on the bases. I would argue that he's not losing it at the plate. He definitely has not looked great on the base paths. And in the outfield, I can't wait till we replace him. Again, like left field is where you just don't put your great fielder. If Seiya Suzuki played left field and Ian Happ came in and was the DH and said, I bet you we get better at defense in left field, just going to be completely honest. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's kind of like apples for apples at that point. What are you talking about? You don't watch enough games. Brian, I watch every game. Don't know where you're getting that from. Don't know who you are. Okay, and here is the controversial one that I'm going to address. Dansby waved him off, was out past where he should have been. Vegas Cubs fan. He goes on to say that someone seated there today near where Happ and Dansby were on the field said that they could hear Dansby yelling him off. Good friend of the show, Will, says, Kyle, bud, I was standing right there at the wall and see and hear exactly what was said. Keep watching on TV, bud. Ha ha ha. Funny, Will. And also sitting next to him said the same thing, that they heard him call Happ off. So let's address this whole Dansby called it thing, because listen, Will's a friend of the show, Ann's a friend of the show, a few people who said that they were right there. They said that they heard Dansby call the ball. If Dansby called that ball right off the bat and then lost it, I believe that. I'm not saying that didn't happen. But what I am saying is that if Dansby called that ball, Ian still has to be right there and paying attention. And Dansby, if he lost it, is going to say something. So let's just go very slowly here as we watch this. All right, Dansby, as soon as that ball is hit, he's looking up. I mean, he could have called it right here. Right here, he could have called this ball. It is very, very possible. I'm not saying that didn't happen. But Ian Happ, flying in, he's sprinting, and then he starts to let up a little bit here. Is he looking at Dansby? I don't know. I can't tell there. But what I can see is right here, Dansby looks at Ian. He is no more than 3 steps off of the infield when he is looking at Ian Happ. That tells me Dansby is not calling this ball. If Dansby called this ball, he's not going to care about who's around. He's just going to go to the ball. He's going to go to the place. He's going to make the catch. If he didn't make this call, or if he made the call earlier and then he lost it, he's now looking at Ian Happ and he's saying, lost it, you. He might have said, I got it. And then he might say, lost it, you. Something to that effect. But that's exactly when Ian Happ starts slowing down. So let's give another benefit of the doubt. Could Ian Happ have heard Dansby Swanson right here say, I got it? And then right here, as he's slowing down, not hear Dansby say, lost it, you. Because there's just no way. There's no way that Dansby Swanson, a Gold Glover, doesn't say, I lost it. He's going to communicate. If he's looking at Ian Happ, he's going to communicate that. Then Ian Happ right here, as Dansby's looking at him again, looking at him for a while actually, just stops. I mean, he's running, and then he just stops. Sprint, jog, and then I'm going to let it drop in front of me, literally 2 feet in front of me. We saw it in San Diego. We saw it against the Phillies. It's happened 3 times minimum this year. Why? Why? That's just my question, is why. My question is not if it's happening, because it's happening. If you don't think that Ian Happ is being passive in left field on these types of plays, I don't know what to tell you. You're just not watching the game. Now let's give him his flowers. And oh, by the way, before we go into that, Tommy Ottavy, of course, with just like a magical meeting at the mound with Cade Horton, which this is a very mature moment for Cade Horton. Gets the ground to third base. Vidal Brujan goes home instead of trying to turn the double play. That keeps it a 1-run game. And then you've got a ground out double play back to Dansby. So you got 6-3 on the double play. Good job, Cade Horton. I mean, I don't know what to say there aside from just that was impressive. That was probably one of the more impressive moments for Cade Horton in his career so far, in his very young career, to get out of that situation. Then Ian Happ, boom, 3-run home run, makes it 6-1. Yeah, I mean, all is forgiven. And I even said that on Twitter. I mean, again, guys, I'm not an Ian Happ hater. The Cubs now have 6 players with 10 home runs. This is awesome. Ian Happ, one of them. That was a bomb. I don't care if the wind is blowing out or not. That's a bomb. And then later on, 7th inning, Ian Happ with a tremendous play. Difference. All of you are yelling at me on Twitter. Oh, is that passive, Kyle? I'm not talking about those types of plays. I'm talking about the ones that you converge and you're within striking range of another player. That's when Ian Happ needs to take charge. He'll tell you the same thing. I'm going to tell you right now. Ian Happ standing right here would tell you the exact same thing. I need to take charge on that. I haven't watched the post game. He probably, if was even asked that question, probably even addressed that. But Ian Happ, listen, you're having a great season on plays like this. You're having a great season on outfield assists. You're having a great season, especially the last couple weeks at the plate. I just want to see when you converge with the infielders, let's just take some charge. Let's take a lead. This team is full of leaders from Dansby to Ian Happ. In fact, I was really surprised when I interviewed Ben Brown that he said that Ian Happ was one of the best leaders on the team. I'm not going to harp on this too much. Ian Happ had a great day. He had one play that frustrated me, and he had a ton of plays that he looked phenomenal. 2 home runs plus a diving play. Let's go Cubs. They win 10-6.